Alright, what's going on, guys? Jake here. I just wanted to throw together a little editing tutorial for those of you who have been messaging me on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook. Um, so I am going to be showing my favorite VSCO film pack that I use mostly for most of my pictures. Recently, I've been messing around with other presets, but kind of been going back to this one just because it fits the look that I'm trying to get. That pack is VSCO Film 06, and then they give you two different folders when you download it. They have the cross process right here, and then the push and pull. The push and pull is my favorite. The cross process is very contrasty, and you need to work with the edits a little more to get the look that I'm going for this. So I'm going to kind of stick with the push and pull. I have four pictures that we're going to go through. Two are concert pictures, one's in the day, one's at night, and then two stylized portraits. So let's go ahead and mess with the first one. Let's see. So a favorite of mine are mostly the Portra 400 and the Portra 160. Um, I'm probably going to use 160 for this picture. Uh, let's see. And then on the top left, it'll preview your preset before you go on it. So I'm just going to look at these right here. I'll probably go with Portra 160 plus plus. And we'll do a before and after already just so I can show you the difference between the two. And usually what I do right off the bat after I apply a preset is to go down to the color panel, which is right here. And you can pick your colors and kind of mess with them to saturation. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the oranges and take that down to about, so you can see when I bring it all the way up, when I bring it all the way down. So I'm going to bring that to probably right about maybe 35, 30. I'll do 30. That looks good. And then I'll go to my yellows and I'll probably just bring that down to 10. Um, Photographers have different opinions on clarity. Some bring it down. Most likely, most will bring this to like -10 if they're adding green, but I'm not going to really add green, so I'm going to boost it to about +10. Just to, it gives my image the look it's a little more sharper, even though if it's in focus, it just kind of accentuates what you have in focus. I'm going to bring that to right about there. Bring the saturation down a little bit. And like I said before, editing is a lot of trial and error. Um, Presets were never made to just throw on a picture and then export it. You're going to want to do some adjustments because that's how you get your look. Because if everyone just threw a preset on a picture and moved on, a lot of them would look the same. So you want to kind of adjust it to your liking. So right there, I brought the sharpening up a tiny bit. Um, so I'm really liking it so far. We'll do a before and after. I think I'm going to bump my contrast up a little bit to about 5. Maybe bring my blacks down to probably right about there. So that's a pretty much the edit that I like. I actually posted this picture on Instagram the other day. I'm kind of trying to stick with the color theme here. So we'll zoom in. You can kind of see the difference between it. It's pretty close, but there is a significant difference. So, all right, I think that looks pretty good. I like the way his jeans turned out. The colors are pretty accurate to the original, just accentuates certain things a little differently. All right, so here is another picture from Lynch Stock last year. This is Colony House. So I'm over here on the left, kind of looking up here at what the different presets look like on the picture, the look that I'm going for. So let's see, I'm kind of probably going to go for a Portrait 400 plus. Let's see, let me raise the exposure a little bit. Let's see, I'm probably going to go down here and let me reset it. I kind of like this more faded look. And I am sick, so I apologize for any sounds I may make. Just had to go to the doctors. All right. Not that that's important. Let's move on. So there is some natural grain. I did shoot at 3200 ISO. So the fact that this preset already put 30 grain on here, I'm going to take that way down. I'm not going to need that at all. Probably just about 10. And grain is a personal preference thing. Some photographers love grain, some hate it. It just depends on the style you're going for. I'm going to go ahead and raise the sharpening to about 25 on this one. Bring this to about 10 like I normally do. And we're going to go to the color panel like I mentioned before and kind of mess around because his jacket is already red and there's a red light shining on it as well. So it's kind of giving it this weird orange color. So I'm going to go ahead and take this down a little bit. Maybe boost the luminance a little. Right to about there. Let me bring this back a little more. Take the blacks down. Bring the shadows up. And then I'm going to take the temperature here. I can either go warm or cool with it. I'm going to go cool. I think that looks a lot better. Bring up the clarity a little more. We drop the saturation down to about like -10. Let's do like 5. So that's pretty much all I'm going to do for this edit. There is some noise up near his face that I can probably get rid of. You can do a noise reduction down here, which is really helpful if you have to shoot a high ISO. So I'm going to probably drop the grain all the way. And then, where is it? There it is. Give it a little bit of a noise reduction. So right there, that's the edit I'll do. I'll give you before and after, which I'm really like how that one turned out. So right over here, I used Portra 400 plus, that one right there. Anyway, now I'm going to move on to some portraits because that's mostly what you guys are asking for. This is a picture of my friend M. We took this in the beginning of the semester. I'm probably going to go back to the Portrait 160 for this one. I just really love how these pictures turn out. Probably going to do 160 plus again. So right away, I really am liking how it's turning out. You can already tell that colors change a little bit, but like I said, VSCO does a really good job of not altering things too much because you don't really want to stay true to the original picture. So let me go ahead and I'm not really seeing any colors that I want to change the saturation or luminance of. It's pretty spot on to the look I want, so I'm going to go ahead and boost my clarity. It's about 15 for this one. Let me go down here, add a little sharpening to it. Then I will go to the color just to check if there's anything. Can probably take the blues in her jeans and just desaturate them a little bit. You can tell I'm moving the slider right now. That's farther up, this is farther down. Just kind of matches the picture, and I can probably... So I think that looks better. Bring my blacks down, the shadows up. Contrast about 5. And that's probably all I do for that picture. I like how it turned out. Let me do a before and after. So you can see not too much of a difference, but it definitely gives it a more clean look in my opinion. You can tell her arms right here are a little orange. It's not really true to her skin color, so I can go in here to the orange and just desaturate that a little bit. So yeah, that's all I do for this picture, and let me move on to one more. It's a picture of my friend Courtney. Let's see. So with pictures like this, most of these presets would look good on. It's just a matter of opinion and what you use and the look you're trying to go for. So I'm just going to go through these and look, see what looks good up there. I like this one right here, Portrait 400 plus 2. I'll go ahead and apply that. All right. So right away I can tell that I'm going to want to bring the highlights down a tiny bit. Actually, let's look at other presets. Like I said, it's a matter of opinion. I may go back to 160. So you can tell the difference between some of these presets aren't much, but it could help you with the post-processing after you apply it. You know, I think I'm going to go black and white on this one. I think that would look really cool. I do something like this. Yeah, I kind of like the black and white on this. So yeah, the black and white presets 2 film replication is pretty freaking sweet. Let me go ahead and take the grain down. It's way too much. And that's about 10. I just like the look of the light coming through onto her. It looks pretty sweet. Probably take that down. Bring that back up. Sharpen it a little bit. And then since she's facing directly to it, I will go in and just smoothen the skin with a brush over here. A lot of people don't know about these features. They have like skin smooth, you can like dodge and burn and enhance the iris of picture and like the eyes. So it is very helpful to use these brushes to their full potential. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a Skin Smooth Plus. I always probably bring up the sharpness because I don't like how smooth it kind of looks fake. And I'll bring the size down, feather up a little bit. I'll just go in here and paint over the skin just to smooth it out a little bit. And I do this to all my pictures, all of them. There's not one that I don't smooth the skin in. Bring the exposure up a little bit. So then I'll also go in and I can see that there's some blemishes. So right here you can use this tool. Second to the left, here's the crop, it's right here. And I'll do the heel. Let me bring down the size of this. And I'll just spot some blemishes out. You can also use this for background, like things in the background that are maybe in the way. It's not as good as the tools in Photoshop, but it does get the job done if you're doing quick edits or if it's something small. Right about there, I think that looks pretty good. So this would probably be all I do for this edit too. Probably gonna sharpen this a little more because you need to watch out when you're doing a skin smooth on the skin to not do it too much because you don't want to take away like the facial features of where the nose is structured because you can quickly make things look fake. And for myself, at least in the pictures that I'm taking, I don't really want that airbrushed look. I do want like a nice smooth skin on people, but nothing that's distracting from the picture. But you don't want to do it so fake that people realize it's fake. That's just how I go about things, but everyone creates a different style. So whatever you're trying to do, you can mess around with these tools. I'm gonna probably pump up the clarity a little bit. Yeah, so let me go ahead and full screen these. So here's the last edit. Let that load in. And then the first one. So I'll put these for download below so you guys can see. I'll put the full res before and after of them. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll answer them. Follow me on Instagram, DM me. I'll answer them through there as well. Like I said, there are a ton of different presets within this one. We didn't even touch the other folder, cross-process. And yeah, so the other presets that I have are Film 02, 05, 07, and then I also have some from the photographer Blue, and then Clay Moss. He has the Opal presets, which are pretty sweet, the 5 of these. So I do use some of these as well, but I'm most likely going to switch back to the VSCO films. They're just getting that look that I want. So yeah, that's a quick edit. I will do, if you're interested in seeing any other of the packs, I can do some edits on them as well and show you the different kinds that they have. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.